Hey, you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Come here, give me a hug. Are you ready for your gift? Oh, shut up. It's the least I could do after how helpful you've been lately. Seriously, I'm just glad I could reward you somehow. Come on in. Well, of course you don't smell anything yet. The present isn't just that I'm cooking you the most wonderful meal you've had all month. I'm also giving you a special lesson. Yeah. I mean, I know you've wanted to learn a few cooking tips, so I figured we'd just kill two birds with one stone. Here we are. My humble workspace. This is where the magic happens. And by that, I mean my kitchen. Here, I already have a few things prepped for us. What are we making? Well, I'm glad you asked. We, my friend, are going to be making my secret weapon, the meal that will win you the heart of any friend or foe. We are making the most wonderful, delicious spaghetti and tomato sauce, but instead of meatballs, we're going to be having drumsticks. Yeah, I know, but you've got to trust me on this. It'll blow your socks off, I promise. It is amazing. All right, let's get started, shall we? Okay. So clearly, I've prepared a few things. I have the tomatoes and the breadcrumbs, homegrown and specially made from scratch. I'm just kidding. I'm not that fancy all the time. I just picked up a can of crushed tomatoes, the good kind, and some breadcrumb mix before you arrived. I mean, I may like cooking, but I do have limits on how much time I wanted to spend on our lesson tonight. I figured you'd want to actually eat at some point tonight, right? Hey, would you like an apron? This one has a design that I felt was very fitting for you. The little octopus just screamed you. Well, put it on if you'd like, but either way, come help me with the first task, dicing the onions. Well, of course I didn't prep these before. I didn't want to be the only one crying in the kitchen today. Here, you take these, I'll take the rest, and we'll just work together. Okay, we'll want to cut them a little smaller than that. Here, let me show you. Just move your hand, and you're going to carefully use the knife like so. It's a gentle game. Definitely just go slow if you're not used to this. Some people try to go fast, like those fancy cooking shows, trying to be Gordon Ramsay or something, and it doesn't go well for them. Okay, there. Yeah, you got it. Oh, see, this definitely isn't your first time, is it? Careful. I might feel threatened if you keep impressing me like this. Oh, how are your eyes, at least? You know, it's okay if you get a little teary. I mean, look at me. I've diced hundreds of onions, and I still look like I found out my favorite boy band just broke up. Hey, I'll have you know, I bawled for hours when I found out Blink-182 broke up the first time. What? Yes, they were. They were totally a boy band, just like a punky one, okay? All right, next step. And this is one of the most important ones, garlic. I add about 1 million cloves of garlic, I swear, but we'll go with what you're comfortable with. I'd say 2 cloves would probably be enough for a normal person. Could you go grab them for me? Oh, my goodness. You're such a dork. That's 2 full heads of garlic. Here, let me show you. You just have to tear them open, and then each of these little parts are the cloves. God, could you imagine if we put both of these in? Well, I mean, I guess I did just say I put 1 million in my meals. I'd probably love it. Maybe next time, okay? But for now, we'll just take 2 of these nice big cloves and mince them up. You want to make sure to chop them super fine, but just be careful with that knife, okay? All right, I'll dice the mushrooms while you work over there. See, I knew it. You are such a natural. We're going to be finished in no time. Are you sure you even needed my help? Oh, no, trust me. It's worth it. Getting those store-bought sauces, it's fine and all if you're in a rush, but there is something special about preparing it yourself. Or most of it, at least. Plus, you get to experiment this way. That's the real fun of cooking. How did I get so good at it? Well, trial and error. I mean, I just kind of try things randomly and see what works and what doesn't. It doesn't always go great. I mean, one time I made cinnamon chicken. Yeah, it wasn't my best recipe, I'll admit, but hey, it was probably better than you think. And now I know to leave the cinnamon for my office famous snickerdoodles, you know? Okay, let me just put a little oil in the pan and we can start sauteing the vegetables, get them nice and delicious. All right, and just dump them in and do you smell that? Oh, it is amazing, isn't it? We'll have to wait just a little bit for the garlic. It only needs a tiny bit of time in the pan before we combine it with the tomatoes in the pot, but then we're halfway there. Hey, by the way, I really do want to thank you again for how much you've helped me out lately. You've really made me feel so appreciated and special and guilty. Well, I mean, hey, you're special too, silly. You're special to me, and I'm just glad I can do something for you. It's not every day I allow people into my kitchen for an intimate meal, you know, let alone getting to cook with me. You should feel honored, honestly. Well, hey, while we're waiting on the vegetables, let's multitask so we don't take too long. Let's go ahead and get those drumsticks prepared. Oh, no, we're not just going to dump the drumsticks in, silly. We are going to give them a light breading first. Trust me, they are going to be bomb. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this breadcrumb mix, and I'm going to let you go ahead and add a few seasonings to it. It's already pre-seasoned, so you don't have to worry too much, but you can do whatever you want. Here, feel free to raid my spice rack. Pick out a few things and give it a try while I check on the other stuff. Just a dash or two of most things. Don't use too much. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves. But this is where we get to experiment. You know, a while ago, I wouldn't have seen myself as the one who'd be teaching you all this stuff. I was once a humble apprentice, much like you. Well, everyone starts somewhere. Before, I barely felt comfortable seasoning my chicken with salt and pepper before I put it in the oven. Oh, my confidence with seasoning has grown immensely since then, thankfully. No more boring, sad chicken for us. Now, I'm simply passing my knowledge on to the worthy. To my favorite person, of course. Well, yeah, of course you're my favorite. We've been friends for such a long time, you know? I feel like you know me better than I do sometimes. Oh, those are the spices you want? Well, someone's daring. I like that. It's definitely an experimental mix, but I am totally up for it. Nothing can ruin this meal. All right, I'll just put the garlic in with the veg and there, back to those sweet legs of yours. The drumsticks, I mean, not your actual, I don't think your actual legs aren't sweet because they totally are, but let's get back to the cooking, okay? All right, so just mix those spices in with the crumbs and great, wonderful. Now we'll switch over to the eggs. Then we can get to dredging and breading the chicken. It's a gentle game and you need to make sure they're fully coated, okay? Here, I'll be your hands for the first one. This isn't weird, right? Me just wrapping my arms around you like this. I feel like I'm in that movie with the pottery wheel. Maybe I'm the ghost. Ooh. But hey, we've been friends for forever, so this isn't weird, right? It's nice. It's comfortable. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad you agree. Anyway, as I was saying, we're just going to dump the breadcrumbs on a plate and fully coat the drumstick with the egg. Shut up. Then we're going to roll them in the crumbs. Make sure to press down a little so they stick. And voila, there we go. Drumstick number 1 ready to go. Now you're just going to do it a few more times and they're ready to go in the oven. That's it. You are a natural at this. You've even got the wet hand, dry hand technique down pat. Impressive. Okay, good. Wow, you did that fast. Well, now it's time for the sauce. We're just going to dump the vegetables into this big pot here and in with the tomatoes. You want to make sure you add some water too. We got to make sure it's not just a thick, gooey paste. We got to thin it down, and then while it simmers, it'll thicken up. Then it'll be perfect to mix with pasta in the end. Now, all we have to do is stir this all together, and we'll just leave it to simmer for a while. Let all the flavors meld and get cozy. What's next? Well, that's it, silly. We're all finished. Mostly just gotta put the drumsticks in the oven and make the pasta when the sauce is all done, and easy peasy. Not as scary as you thought, huh? Now we have a fancy meal in your back pocket that you can pull out to woo over any date. Well, I certainly hope I was a wonderful teacher, but I must say, I had a wonderful apprentice to assist me. I'm glad we aren't actually teacher and apprentice, because that would create some major complications between us. Well, I couldn't do such silly things as coming up behind you like that, could I? I'd probably get sacked. But I always felt so comfortable with you, and it just felt so natural to do it that way, don't you think? Yeah. I like that. It's like we're always in the same lane. We're in sync. It's always been nice to have someone special there, Someone like you. Hey, careful with your hands. We don't want you to put them in the wrong spot. While the food is cooking and the oven's on, you should put them somewhere more safe. Like right here. I hope you don't think my hips are an odd place. If I'm being honest, I kind of hoped you'd put them there earlier. Look, I'm sorry if this comes across as crazy forward. This just feels right. You feel right, Whoa, that oven must be preheating pretty fast. I feel like I'm getting a little hot. Seriously, I'm really... I'm sorry. I shouldn't have jumped into that. I really wanted this. So, you feel the same? Yeah. Yeah, this is what I want. I wanted this for a long time, if I'm being honest. But wait, the food. Quick, just put the drumsticks in the oven and set the timer. That way we'll actually get to eat sometime tonight. Oh, phew. That was close. We almost got distracted. But now there's nothing for us to do but wait. So where were we? I think I know. We were right here. Sure is one way to kill time, isn't it?